Yeah. It just dawned on me that how important it is to understand the importance of really giving your kids a chance to be in their own spaces with other kids that can bring the best out of them, especially in stressful situations. Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.
Hey guys, welcome back. Excited to be chatting today with my hubby. So many good things have been going on. How about we talk about some of that stuff, hon? We just got back from a good couple of day break, didn't we?
Yeah, big 5-0 birthday. Went and celebrated up in McCall, Idaho. Went to a resort. It was fun. Got a little time, just you and me. Beautiful weather, beautiful scenery, great food, good times.
I know, and to celebrate you being 50 now. Wow, huh?
New decade. I'm ready.
Are ya?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we're in May here. But, you know, one thing I wanted to ask you, why are most people tired on April 1st?
I don't know, honey.
Because they just finished a 31-day march. You even laughed at that one.
I was like,
What did one toilet say to the other?
You're dirty.
You appear a bit flushed. All right. What are we talking about, my love? Huh?
What would you like to talk about today?
Okay, so backstory here. Jack and I are arguing right before we got on here about what we're going to talk about first, and I wouldn't give her an answer. So now she's trying to be nice about it. But yeah, so how about this? Why don't we talk about knowing how to celebrate your kids?
That's a good topic.
Okay, so you want to start?
Sure. I mean, first of all, I think it's really important to understand what celebrating means to each child. Mm-hmm. How one person feels celebrated could be different from another. I mean, a lot of that plays into, personalities and, just the way that they operate. For a long time, we probably didn't really know the best way to celebrate our children. We kind of just thought, let's just all celebrate them the same way. Like, let's give them all words of affirmation, or let's give them all hugs, or let's buy them all a gift, or let's spend all quality time. And if we didn't do all of them for each of them individually the same exact way, you almost feel guilty, like, I gave that kid quality time and didn't give it to that kid.
Right.
And so it took us a little bit of time to study this.
Yeah, and we've learned a lot of this stuff just from working with other business leaders and things that they do to have really high performing cultures in their within their employees and within their ranks. And just like we say all the time, you have to put as much intentionality into how you're going to run your family as you do into running any business and any other endeavor that you ever have. And so I love pulling some of this information from other places and being able to incorporate it, because what does every employer want? They want their employees to thrive. They want them to succeed in their roles. They want them to, be happy when they're doing it because they're going to be more productive. They want to develop them into the best version of themselves they can be. And so there's a lot of, there's industries made out of corporate training to teach people how to do this stuff. But yet it's crazy. I still very rarely ever see it taught within families. Mm-hmm. And because we want the same thing. We want our kids to thrive. We want them to be happy. We want them to feel encouraged and be applauded when they succeed. We want them to learn from when they make mistakes. We want them to understand themselves and each other, better. We want to perform at their max capability that they can. And so, this is just another one of those examples of those areas of that. One of our friends, one of the things that they do, even on the interview process when they hire people, is they do a couple things. One is they really like to understand their overall general personality type, and there's a lot of tests out there. They use one called Flag Page, which is, it's a really simple kind of older test, but it tells you after taking some questions, basically what country you're in, and there's control country, there is perfect country, there is peaceful country, and fun country, right? And all of us carry a certain flag. Which one's we have the most. I would say yours is probably control country first, then perfect country. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like I haven't ever taken it, so
Yeah. And mine would be control first, and probably fun country second would be mine. But they were talking about how, when you understand this kind of stuff, then it's good to be able to. They used to try to put people in even like physically in locations within their company based on some of their countries. And they realized that, if you put a certain department together, say it's like accounting, a lot of times they're usually the perfect country, and they're not the fun country, like necessarily type people, they're just a little more detail oriented and serious. And so if you put them all together in one area, then that area is going to feel a certain way versus if you put all the people who are like in sales, who are in fun country over here. And they started just mixing people up. So that way they would all benefit from each other. Because you know how it is. Like if you hang out just with people just like you, it can get a little competitive and a little annoying sometimes, But if you hang out with different types of personalities, it's really cool. I mean, I personally love hanging out with peaceful type people and the fun type people, just because I'm typically like 80% of my time I'm in my control mode. And so they kind of balance me out a little bit. And, we were talking about this, how this relates to our kids, and just how we need to be intentional sometimes about having different kids spend time together in different ways because of how they do actually, they do actually really even each other out a little bit, right?
yeah, yes, I agree with that. Like I think very much so. That kind of going back a little bit. So how to celebrate people with all these kind of personalities, and also how to enjoy people that are in different personalities or countries or however you want to phrase it, in our own household has been a journey for us. And so we were literally just saying we should probably go over with everybody in our family a little bit better how to celebrate each other and how to get different personalities and different, fun, perfect, control, whatever, around each other, because otherwise what happens is all the kids hang out with maybe who they just feel most comfortable around, and they never get a chance to connect with one that they didn't naturally hang out with, and it just made us realize that if people are doing this and this matters in the workspace, it should matter just as much, if not more, in the home space.
Yeah.
And how do we apply that? Because we're always trying to run our house at the most efficient place possible, so that everyone can thrive, just like you would at your company. You would want everybody to be in their best place ever so that the company could thrive, right? Well, we want everybody in our family to be in the best place ever so the family can thrive. And so, yeah, I think it's really neat, like, to talk about it. So as far as like going back a little bit to the personalities and celebrating, you and I were kind of going over the list of how we think each of our kids would actually like to be celebrated versus what's maybe comfortable for us to do.
Do you feel that I infringed on your control country boundaries when we switched from best way to celebrate into personalities at the beginning?
I don't know. It's control. It's like, but it's not perfect. I'll tell you that much. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
But it sure is fun.
It's fun for me.
I'm just like,
I saw you.
I'm so confused.
This isn't how we were perfectly planning this out.
Right. I don't know if I feel like necessarily like, the control thing all the time is like the perfect thing sometimes for me, but I should probably take the test. You know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes my control comes out because of trying to be perfect. You know what I mean? Type thing. But regardless, I I wasn't really sure what we were talking about, period. So then when you start me off in one direction, I think I'm going for it. And then you just totally made up a whole new direction. And then you're like, so what do you think about that? I'm like, which part? The part at the beginning?
This is part of my job, though, with my country, bringing the fun into the perfect country.
Well, I think it's the control country trying to tell me how we're going to do it, regardless of what my country wants.
Put the eyebrows down already. Okay. Jeez. All right.
Oh.
So back to the kids. So which one do you want to talk about first?
I'm on your game plan. Take over control.
That is not true at all. All right. So we were just talking about how, when we think about it, our kids end up spending a lot of time together, So sometimes it's just you and I just being a little bit aware. I mean, like, for instance, Abby probably can be she can be in that perfect country quite a bit. And then even the control part too has to do, I think, partially with her being the oldest and kind of feeling like a second mom around here sometimes. And then Chrissy, she's for sure in control country because she's such a leader. And you get those two together too long, and it's almost like they're competing for control, and they need a little break and a little window, and something around that. Now you take like an Abby or even Chrissy, and you throw Drews in there. Drews is fun country all day long. You know what I mean?
Until he gets on the court.
He's like, I don't know of any other country.
Well,
why would anybody want to live in a different country
until
than this
he gets
side?
on the court? Then it's all of a sudden like control. I'm over here. Give me the ball.
For sure.
I got this.
Yeah.
Let me do it.
Yeah, that is true. That competitive side.
Oh
pulls
yeah,
them
it takes
there.
over in a whole new range.
Yeah, but so it's just neat though for you and I to think through how to be intentional about this, and for anybody listening, like what are your kids, which country they live in, and how do you actually get them around each other and know how it's going to kind of balance the countries out. You put two perfect countries in the same room. Perfect country kids in the same room together for too long, and they might be fighting over what's perfect, each one of them. You throw a perfect country kid in the room with the fun country kid, and now they kind of blend. They kind of help each other out to a certain extent. So it's just cool. Stuff. It's not super heavy, but it's fun to know, and it's good to learn. Just because it helps us navigate different things that we're doing and where kids are sitting in a car on a road trip and everything else, right?
Well, yeah, and then you have Bella. Bella and Abby spend a lot of time together because they are twins and they're in the same sports together and in the same room together and they're in the same school subjects together and all that stuff. And Bella has her own control area, and then you have Abby's control area. And what was interesting is that I had a chance to get with Bella the other day. Her and I got some quality time together, which is great because that is totally her. She enjoys that quality time together one-on-one. And I was like, hey, how's it going? How is it working with all your siblings? Because I always like to ask the kids. I mean, checking in with them and making sure that things are going well with each other. I wanted to hear. And she said, it's going really well. I feel like Abby and I are doing better now. And I go, compared to what? Like, what are you talking about? She goes, well, when we were playing tennis, it was becoming pretty stressful. And I said, oh, explain. And she's like, oh, with just districts and practices and school together and then sharing a room together. I mean, we were fighting some, and we weren't getting along best. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, and it dawned on me because they play tennis together, but they don't just play tennis together. They're doubles partners together. So they don't just practice together.
Yeah,
like
they don't
most
just
people.
show up at practice and get around everybody else. A lot of times, I mean, they actually really practice together, with each other, against each other, with each other. Like it's all in.
It's all in. Yep. And I said to Greg, oh, so imagine like when you're playing a sport and you're kind of getting mad at one of your, it could be literally your tennis partner or it could be your basketball, like colleague or, whatever it may be. I mean, it could be anything like that. And you get in the car and you're just like, I need a break from that person. They drove me nuts. They did this today. They did this. Oh, I'm so glad practice isn't until Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, our kids get in the car and they're still together. Like they never get a break from their partner. And then they come home, and what do you say? Then they have to make dinner together.
Yeah, they have to sit next to each other when they eat.
And then we're doing a team meeting. They're like, so what do you love about each other?
Then they share rooms when they're getting ready for the evening. They're brushing their teeth next to each other. And then even Abby and Bella share a big king-size bed together.
It's just all of the things, like it dawned on me, and I'm like, kind of like when you're married. Like, oh my gosh, I never get a break from you. You know what I mean? Like,
why would you want one?
I wasn't talking about you. I was saying in general.
You seem very
for the
passionate when
average
you
person,
said that.
Not for me in my situation. I'm blessed and highly favored.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
Yeah, to work with you, to share a room with you, to share a bathroom with you, to sit next to you at dinner. Like, I actually hope I have more of it. Like.
We can arrange that. Honey.
Yeah, I bet you could. And so it dawned on me with the poor girls sometimes.
You got some stuff you got to get off your chest, don't you? You seem a little pent up.
I'm good. Yeah. It just dawned on me that how important it is to understand the importance of really giving your kids a chance to be in their own spaces with other kids that can bring the best out of them, especially, in stressful situations.
Yeah. Yeah, so we were talking about even just like little things, just being intentional, run to the store or something. It'd be fun to throw Chrissy and Drews together, or Abby and Drews, or whatever. Mix it up. Throw a Bella and Ellie together, or whatever. And instead of just whoever raised their hand said, "I want to go," like be a little bit more strategic about it and let the different kids spend a little different quality time together.
I think at this point, at the end of this, they literally might want to all switch rooms. Yeah. They're going to be like, is there an opportunity for me to move into somewhere else?
I'm just worried you're going to want to switch a room. Jeez.
You want to switch a room?
No.
Oh, I thought that was coming from you.
I want to be closer, honey.
I know. That's what we're going to do, babe. Be closer every day.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, can we continue with what we started talking about in the next episode, please?
Sure. That'd be fun.
Okay. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening, and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.